Florida actually has been better on the road pretty much throughout the majority of this playoffs. So it's certainly an interesting dynamic and probably adds to the importance of getting one of these wins in Edmonton to head back to South Florida. But what are kind of your expectations for, it's such an emotional high going into a double overtime? What do we expect to see kind of coming out for game three?
Well, I think that if you're Florida, you got to build off the fan reaction because that building in Florida is going to be loud. And if you can get an early goal, like when you get an early goal at home in the playoffs, it really does have a massive impact. And it goes the other way as well. If Edmonton scores early, that takes the crowd out of it. So you have to find a way to keep the crowd motivated for the first 5 minutes, keep them loud, because that is going to help a lot. It's going to be interesting to see what Matthew Tkachuk does, because we all know that he's not at 100%.
Yeah.
He had an injury at the Four Nations. He hasn't played a ton. Like, he hasn't played up to Matthew Tkachuk's style really through the playoffs. But could this be his moment? He's going to get a couple of days off here between game 2 and game 3. He's going to have that crowd. Is he going to be able to throw some hits, create some plays? And it will also be interesting to see how Paul Maurice line matches now, because he did a pretty good job tonight. You can nitpick a little bit in game 1, but tonight they did a really good job. He trusted his entire lineup. I know that the fourth line didn't play a ton, but they were trusted a little bit, especially in overtime. He really likes that Barkov versus McDavid, and then Forsling and Ekblad line against McDavid and Draisaitl. So we'll see if he was able to, basically wallpaper those 3 to Edmonton's top players. And it will be interesting to see how Knoblauch really adjusts his lineup. Is he going to have McDavid and Draisaitl separated the entire game and then, just put him out for icing calls because he doesn't have that last change? So there's really going to be a different dynamic in game 3 and 4 just because of this last change and just the overall momentum that Florida is going to have just from being at home. But yeah, as you said, they haven't been good at home this year. A lot of their losses have come at home. They can't seem to close out a series at home. That's another thing. So we'll see if that trend continues or if Florida can build off of this win and maybe even take 2 at home.